everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful card using our floral dress stamp and die set. We're also going to be using some of our cut and emboss folders along with some of the beautiful geometric watercolour rainbow foiled paper pad, and we're going to be doing some stamping in the background as well. So I really hope that you enjoy creating this project with me. To get started, we're going to create the lady in the floral dress first. So to do that, I've got a piece of plain white card. This is nice and smooth card because we're going to be colouring using some alcohol markers. I've dusted it over with an anti-static rag. I'm then going to take my VersaFine Onyx Black ink pad and ink up my stamp. So we want lots of light tapping all over the image like so. Okay, and then we're going to place this down onto our card blank and press. So you want firm, even pressure all over the image. You're then going to lift this off, and we're going to take a piece of card. We're then going to take our clear embossing powder. This is the Wow Clear Gloss Superfine that I'm using. Sprinkle that over the top, tap away any excess and pop the remainder back into the jar. We're going to heat up the image using our heat gun. So to do that, I'm just holding my heat gun still. As soon as I see that embossing powder start to melt and change, I'm just moving my heat gun over the image like so. Just going to give that a couple of seconds to cool, and then I'm going to take the die from the floral dress stamp and die set and pop this over the top to cut this out perfectly. So we're just going to line the die up, get that nicely into position, and then we want to tape that at the bottom and tape it at the top. We're then going to run that through our die cutting machine. So I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim and my cutting plate on the top, and we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. I've got one that I've already cut out here as well. I'll grab that one in to show you too. Okay, so you can see how this one has die cut out perfectly as well. Okay, so we're going to take our image, I'm going to pop this one just over there, and I'm going to take my image and start to colour it in with my marker pens. So I'm going to use copic markers. So the first colour that I'm going to use to do the actual dress is called Pale Green. I'm just going to go in and just add some colour onto here, like so. It's such a pretty image, this as well. You can really go to town adding as much or as little colour as you like to this one too. I know that the paler green colours don't always show up that well on camera, but trust me, it's going to look lovely once it's all coloured in. So we can take a little bit of this. And I might do a little bit of kind of fancier colouring on this one as well, rather than just doing it in one colour. I can show you how you can add a little bit of depth by adding some shade into it too. I'm actually going to use my chisel tip just for this bottom piece here. I'm going to get the colour laid down that a little bit quicker. There we go, so you can see how you can just get this colour onto the dress there like so. Then if you want to, you can start to go in with a couple of different shades. So I've got a little bit of the jade green here that's slightly darker. So just where the pleats are on the dress, I'm just going to go in and add that little bit of shading. A little bit more at the top as well. Just adding that colour. Again, you don't have to be kind of too careful about how you colour this in. If you don't like colouring, you could stamp this onto a piece of coloured paper and paper piece the dress on. But you can see how quickly and easily that's then come together. I'm going to start and colour the skin in now. So I'd just like to do a little tester before I start with skin. So I'm going to just go in and colour our face. And this is quite a pink colour that I've gone for. This is just going to add the base colour in, okay, like so. And then we can start to go in with some slightly different colours. A little bit more pinky. Let's see if we've got like a more peachy one. This one's quite a nice one. This is Cotton Pearl that I'm using now. So you can kind of go in with that. Add a little bit of shade. And there we go. And then we can maybe use this one. Maybe a little bit. Might be quite nice just for a little bit of shading. Like so. So you can go in and just add that a little bit of depth, and it looks quite harsh when you first do it, but once you then get in and get it blended out, it soon looks so much better. And go back in with this and just blend that in a little bit. You can then see how we've built the colour up there too. And then we're going to go in and do our hair. So to do our hair, I'm going to pick a couple. I'm going to go for like brown shades, I think, for this one. So I've got sepia here, which is a nice kind of warm brown. Go. And then we can go in with a slightly darker brown. This one is literally dark brown. And some little low lights going through our hair there too. Okay, but if I hold that up, you can see how nicely that has now all kind of coloured in. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a little bit of glitter and bling her up a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to take my art glitter, Dries Clear Glue, and I'm going to go in and just add a few little dots just onto the dress, like so. Not being too specific or anything like that, just randomly adding little dots of glue. And then I'm going to take the beautiful rainbow violet glitter and sprinkle that over the top. Okay, and that's just going to add a little bit of sparkle onto that beautiful dress. Okay, I'm going to pop that back into the jar. And then we're going to take some jewels, and these are from the Spring Collection Bling Box. So we're going to take these little jewels and we're going to add them just onto the dress. So I'm going to pop like a tealy blue one the top up here. I'm taking the smallest jewels in the bling box, and then we're going to work down and just add a few more of these little bling stones onto here. So I'm taking some of the tealy coloured ones first. I'm just going to pop these on, and these bling stones are absolutely stunning. They've got the like an AB coating to them, which is ever so pretty on all of your projects. It's so nice. So I'm just going to add those on, and I'm going to take some of the lilac ones. Just going to get rid of these little blings here. And I'm just going to pop them on. And then I'm going to take some of the embellish, which is Emboss. So I'm just going to pop that on. This one's back, and then we can bring the lilac in. And we're just going to add there we go, add the bling stones onto there, and you can see how pretty that then looks once you've got all of your little jewels and things on there. So we're going to pop that to one side now, and I'm going to show you how we are going to do the matting and layering for this project. So to start with, I've got a piece of our beautiful geometric rainbow paper. So I'll tell you what I've put all my mats and layers down to actually to start with. So I've got my 8x8 card blank. I've got a piece of our gorgeous Amethyst glitter card. This is non-shed as well. So I've cut that down to 7 3/4. I've then got a piece of aquamarine pearl card that I've cut down to 7 1/2, and I'm going to show you how to create that background in a moment. I've got a piece of white card that I've cut down to about 7 inches square, and then a piece of my patterned paper that I've cut down to 6 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to start with showing you how to create that beautiful background on the aquamarine pearl card. So let me just grab a piece of the card in here. There we go, and I'll just trim it down so it was 7 1/2 inches square. There we go. Right then, so what we're going to do now is take our piece of card to start with, and we're going to take our beautiful stamp. So the stamp that I'm using to do this is the confetti background, which is lovely. Again, all of the products that I'm using are linked in the description below. So we're going to start by giving our card a dust over with an anti-static bag. We're then going to take a Wow clear embossing ink pad, which is the ink pad that I like to use for stamping and embossing with. So we're going to ink up our stamp like so, with lots of light tapping all over the image. Okay, we're going to take this, I'm going to place it down onto our card, like so, and press. So then you want firm, even pressure all over the image. We're then going to lift that off, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see at home, but I can very, very faintly see where my stamped image is. I'm going to take my Wow Embossing Glitter, which is Dazzling Lilac, and I'm going to sprinkle that over the top, like so. And I'm going to heat this up. So I'm using my heat gun. I'm holding my heat gun still. As soon as I see that embossing powder start to melt and change, I'm moving it over the image. There we go, so you can see how beautiful that then looks. So I'm going to go back in with my anti-static, give it another little dust, and then I'm going to take my clear stamp back in. So this is the confetti background again. We're going to re-ink the stamp up. We're going to hover, line it up, and place that down and press. So you want fair, even pressure all over the stamp. Like so. Then we're going to lift that off, and then we're going to cover that again with the lovely Dazzling Lilac Embossing Glitter. this up. Like so, and you can see how pretty that then looks. And then we're going to do this last little section as well. So I've just ran along there with my anti-static bag. I'm going to re-ink my stamp. I'm going to place this down, hover and press. And then lift that away. Then I'm going to take my scrap paper again, cover this one with my embossing powder and just heat it up. There we go, and you can see how fabulous that then looks. If I hold the one up to the camera that's just had a chance to cool, move that one out and hold this one up, you can see how beautiful that then looks. It's such a useful background because it can be like confetti, it could be like sequins, it could be used for snow as well. So the confetti background stamp is a really beautiful one that's great to use for lots of your projects. So we're going to do a little bit of matting and layering now on the finished card. So we've got our lovely glitter card that we've got trimmed down. We're going to stick that one on flat. This is non-shed glitter card as well, so it's great for if you're matting and layering. You don't have to worry about what you're sticking your next mats and layers on with, because it's no shed. You're not going to have to worry about things dropping off. So that's our first layer down with our glitter card. We're then going to pop some foam pads onto the back of this piece. I'm going to bring my little waste basket in because I like to peel the pads off and just pop them in my little waste basket. Okay, so we're going to pop our foam pads on here. Like so. Then I'm going to take the backs off of these. And stick that down onto my base card, like so. Okay, then next up we've got our piece of white card and our beautiful patterned paper, so we're actually going to stick these together. Now we are going to die cut this an oval from the middle of here. So what I'm going to do is stick this one on with a little bit of double-sided tape. And the reason for that is we'll then be able to like die cut it pretty much straight away. I'll put tape there and then I'll put a couple of little bits just in here. And we can get the oval out of the centre. So again, I'm just going to take the backs off my foam pads. Not my foam pad, sorry, off my double-sided tape. Oh, you can tell I haven't used tape in a while. I'm struggling getting the backs off here. Just have a little look. I don't think I've pressed it down. There we go. We're away. Honestly, now I just use glue all the time for my mats and layers and everything. I very, very rarely use double-sided tape. There we go. There we go. Right. So that's the back off all of the tape there. And then what we're going to do is stick this down onto our little white matten layer. Hover, looks about right there. And then stick that down, like so. And then what I've got is one of our beautiful layering dies. So I'm going to take one of the ovals and just pick a size that looks about right. So I'm going to go for this one here. It's a little bit big. There's a couple down. This one here. Yeah, that looks about right. And what we're going to do is die cut this from the centre of this piece. So I always like to make sure I've got my card nice and straight. And I'm going to just pop my oval into position. Then use a little bit of low tack tape. Hold this in place while we run it through the die cutting machine. So again, I'm using my Gemini, I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim, my cutting plate on the top, and then we're going to run that through the machine. Grab that when it comes out of the other side. Take out the oval. We've got those two little ovals to use on another project. That's always a nice little bonus. And then we've got this lovely aperture cut out of the centre of our card. Okay, so we're going to stick that onto our card blank with some foam pads. So let me just grab in my little basket again. I had to have a little think then. It's all confused. There we go. A couple of foam pads on there. Just going to cut these ones in half. I'm just having a little look because Becca actually made this card, but she's prepped it for me because I thought it would make a lovely demo. What she's done is done a double layer of foam pads on this one. So what we're going to do is peel the backs off and then stick another layer on. So we're going to grab our foam pads back in, double layer, okay, so we are really building up that depth and dimension on this project, which is just fabulous. Okay, so we'll pop that one there, pop that one there. Then we're going to add a double layer of foam pads here. I'm going to take the backs off the foam pads, like so. And we're going to stick this down onto our card blank. So we're going to just hover down and then position that. And then you can decide if you want like your confetti more clustered towards the top and less towards the bottom, which is the way that I'm going to go for it. I'm going to stick that down there. Okay, and you can see how beautiful that then looks on your finished card. And all the colours just go together so nicely. So I'm going to take my PVA glue now. And I'm just going to drag along the edge of this white layer, like so. Not being too careful, don't worry about doing it in a straight line. You just want to drag it along. We're just going to work round, kind of scribbling. That's the only way I can describe it, scribbling away with the glue. And then we're going to take our rainbow violet Sparkelicious glitter and sprinkle this over the top. So, I've really missed a section there, haven't I? Pop that back in the jar so then it makes it a little bit easier for me sprinkling it. And there we go. And I'm going to pop that back into the jar. Pop the lid on. Okay, we're going to grab our beautiful girl in the dress and stick her in the middle. And what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of shaping with my fingers. So just curl that round, like so. And then we're going to pop some foam pads onto the back. Just grab some more foam pads out of the drawer here. Just have a look. Okay, these are of course our fabulous foam pads on a roll, which I absolutely love. They are brilliant. Foam pad on there. We're going to whip the backs off. I'm going to pop that down into the middle, like so. So now we just need to add our little flowers and foliage. So these are the flowers that we're going to be adding. So to do those, what we've done is taken a piece of kunzite pearl card and we're using the beautiful, this is the Meadow Flower, I do believe, the Meadow or the Mystical. I always get those two confused. I actually think it might be Mystical now I've said it. Cut and emboss folder. We're going to pop our card in and we want 4 of just the smaller ones. What I tend to do though is pop my card in, do like a full sheet of them and then keep them in a box. Because they always come in really handy as little embellishments on your project. So I'm just running this through my Gemini. So I'm just using my cutting plate and my base plate on this one. Grab it from the other side. Lift this out. So when we lift these away, we've got these beautiful die cut and embossed flowers, which are gorgeous. So we're just going to use the smaller ones on this project. So I've got 4 of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And what we're going to do is start off by taking a little jewel from the Spring Collection Bling box. And we're also going to take them and we're just going to pinch down the middle just to give them a little bit of shape. Like so. And we're going to pop a blob of glue in the middle of each, and we're going to take a large purple jewel to go in the centre. These make such lovely little embellishments as well on your projects. And these flowers, they are really, really beautiful. So what we're then going to do is grab these. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter onto them. So again, I'm just going to use that rainbow violet glitter because it is absolutely gorgeous. So just tiny little dots just onto the petals like so, not being like precise or anything like that, just getting a little bit of glue on there like so. So we're just working our way around, adding little dots of glue onto here, and again I'm not being too precise, just wherever, just get the glue on there. Then I'm going to take that lovely rainbow violet glitter. We're going to sprinkle that straight over the top like so. I mean, look at that bling and sparkle. It's just magical, isn't it? I'm going to just knock the jewel off there. That wasn't meant to happen. Normally you'd give them a little bit more time to dry at home than I am. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to pop that back into the jar. And there we go. We're going to bring our base cards back in. We'll give those a couple of minutes to dry because we need to add some little jewels into the corner. So again, we're going to use that beautiful Spring Collection bling box, and we're going to do 3 jewels. Done that one the wrong way. 3 jewels in each corner. And we're going to use the 3 sizes. So I'm going to use the beautiful teal ones. I'm going to get 4 of the big ones out first. And I'm going to do the middle size. One, 2, 3, 2, and this one, just the smaller ones now. Okay. There we go. So you can see how pretty that's then looking. We're going to add our little flowers, and I've got some little leaves, and these have come from our summer foliage set. And all I've done is stamped and embossed those onto some white card and coloured them in with a green pen. So we're going to have a little go at sticking these on with some glue gel. Okay, so we're going to pop 1 flower here. 1 over here, like so, and then we'll tuck our little leaves in behind. I always think these little leaves just finish projects off really nicely as well. Sometimes you just need a little bit of foliage add into a project. Glue gel's a little bit blocked, I think. One in there. So you can see how fab that's then looking. So what we can then do is we're going to add a bow and pop that to one side, and I've got a roll of our lovely luxury ribbon here, and this is in Sugared Lilac. It's a really nice ribbon. It ties the most beautiful bows. So the way I tie my bows are, I hang the piece of ribbon over my index finger. I take this long length at the back that's still attached to the reel. I do like a figure of 8 round my 3rd finger. I go back round my 1st finger, so it's always like a figure of 8. Back round my 3rd, back round my 1st, back round my 3rd. So you can see how you end up with like a figure of 8. I take this long length, cross it at the back, take the shorter length, tuck it all the way around. You're then going to tie a knot just at the back. And that there would be your finished bow. I'm going to cut the ends off at a little bit of an angle, and you can see how beautiful that then is. We're going to stick that down onto our base card, so I'm going to pop a little bit of glue gel on the back of here, so that's going to go on there. I'm going to take one of these big bling stones, glue gel into the middle, like so. Okay, and once your glue gel's dried, you can kind of like spread the little loops out a bit too. And then we've got the lovely sentiment that says Happy Birthday Beautiful, which is included in this stamp and die set. And I've cut one out in aquamarine card to go as a little backing plate. I'm going to pop that in there, like so, and then I'm going to pop the little Happy Birthday Beautiful on with a couple of foam pads. So I'll just put the foam pad on the back of there. Shuffle that up a little bit, then we can have it like a little shadow. And that there would be your finished card. So I really hope that you've enjoyed making today's project with me. We would love to see some of your creations in the Stamps by Chloe Facebook group, so please do have a look. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're always posting inspirational videos. And of course, all of the products that I've used in today's videos are listed in the description below. You can shop online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Thank you and see you again soon. Bye.